Today, we will talk about the top 10 most expensive Rolex watches in the world. While most of us use our smartphones to check the time, wristwatches are still considered fashionable accessories and status symbols. But not all wristwatches can help you look like $1,000,000. If you're hoping to dress to impress, it's hard to do much better than a high-value Rolex. Most Rolex watches cost a few $1,000s, but some sell for millions. This ranking will reveal which Rolex timepieces have set new sales records. Here are the top 10 most expensive Rolex watches in the world. 1. Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona. Price $17.75 million. The most expensive Rolex watch in the world is Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona, reference 6239. This watch sold for $17.75 million at a 2017 Phillips auction in New York. Compared to contemporary Rolex watches, this one might not look exceptionally impressive, but it does have a few unique features, including an exotic dial and a special back case inscription, "Drive carefully me." Of course, its features pale in comparison to its history and ownership, both of which help this wristwatch sell for millions. 2. The Unicorn. Price $5.93 million. In terms of mythological creatures, there's almost nothing more beautiful or beloved than the unicorn. And when it comes to Rolex watches, there are few specimens more valuable, rare, or alluring than the unicorn. This wristwatch sold for $5.93 million when it went to auction in 2018. This Rolex Daytona is the only white gold example created in 1970, making it an exceptionally rare find that's just as elusive as the mythological creature that gives it its name. 3. The Big Red. Price $5.47 million. When you hear Big Red, you might think about the cinnamon-flavored chewing gum or a popular fictional dog. But in the context of Rolex watches, Big Red refers to a vintage 1980 Rolex Daytona wristwatch with a distinct red Daytona script on the face. This classically styled watch was one of many high-quality timepieces once owned by actor, race car driver, and entrepreneur Paul Newman. When it went to auction in 2020, it sold for a jaw-dropping $5.47 million. 4. The Baudai Rolex. Price $5.06 million. The Dark Star isn't the only Rolex with a built-in calendar. The Baudai Rolex, reference 6062, also has a discrete calendar function, and unlike the Dark Star, it has a contemporary aesthetic. This refined, modern appearance is a little surprising when you consider the fact that this watch debuted in 1952. Despite its age, the Baudai Rolex looks brand new. Its 18-karat yellow gold case, glimmering brightly and accentuating its dark blue and black face and wraparound. 5. The Legend. Price $3.71 million. For a brief time in 2016, the Legend Rolex was the most valuable Rolex Daytona in the world. This vintage gold and blue wristwatch sold for $3.71 million at the Geneva Watch Auction, setting a record that lasted about 5 months. This 18-karat yellow gold watch is one of only 2 identical timepieces, making it one of the rarest and most luxurious Rolex watches from the late 1960s. For perspective, this Rolex is pricier than the most expensive Richard Mille watches. 6. Daytona Lapis Lazuli Platinum. Price $3.27 million. People have used lapis lazuli, a rich blue stone primarily found in the Middle East, for thousands of years. The gates of the ancient city of Babylon were covered in this royal blue stone, the Ishtar Gate. Lapis lazuli is one of the oldest signifiers of wealth and affluence, which is why it should come as no surprise that it would make an appearance in a Rolex watch introducing the Daytona Lapis Lazuli Platinum, reference 16,516, a wristwatch that combines ancient power with modern luxury. Though its teal blue wristband might not be the most subtle choice, the platinum case and lapis lazuli face are unmistakably regal. 7. The Neanderthal. Price $3.01 million. The Rolex Daytona is among the most popular and pricey of all the Rolex models and styles. The average Rolex Dayton wristwatch costs anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000. But the Neanderthal Rolex, a 1966 Rolex Dayton reference 6240, easily exceeds this price range, selling for $3.01 million in 2018. It has a classy silver and black aesthetic that complements its antique components. Though this watch might not be able to tell you the current date, it's a capable vintage Rolex that would look fitting on the wrist of the world's most successful entrepreneurs and business magnates. 8. Deep Sea Special. Price $2.06 million. Contrary to popular belief, Rolex wristwatches aren't only designed to be fashionable accessories and timepieces. Many of these watches are also designed to suit the hobbies and activities of their wealthy wearers, one of which is deep sea diving, like scuba diving. But creating a lavish timepiece that can withstand a high-pressure underwater environment is challenging. But Rolex managed to figure it out way back in the 1950s. The Deep Sea Special No. 1 is essentially a prototype that helped pave the way for future water-friendly Rolex watches. 9. Jack of Diamonds. Price $1.63 million. As soon as you set eyes on the Jack of Diamonds Rolex, it's obvious that it's worth $1 million, $1.63 million, to be precise. After all, the riveted strap is made of 18-karat gold, and the face is encircled with shimmering colorless diamonds. Behind the case, you'll also find a glittering face entirely covered in precious stones. Additionally, each hour is represented by a sparkling blue sapphire. Though these blue gemstones aren't the most expensive sapphires, they add an undeniable touch of luxury to this already sumptuous Rolex. 10. The Dark Star. Price $1.57 million. The best watches can tell far more than the time. They can also tell you the day of the week, the current month, and the date. The Dark Star is a fantastic example, as it displays the numbers 1 through 31 in a rich blue hue along the face for the day of the month. It also has shifting panels displaying the current month and the day of the week. This antique watch, created in 1952, also has a distinct aesthetic that sets it apart from modern Rolex watches. It features an 18-karat gold case and a beige leather strap with a 14-karat gold buckle. Because the Dark Star is such a unique and capable Rolex, it sold for $1.57 million in 2018. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.